Hey there, I'm Andy O, the pastor of Generations Church. This is our podcast, and you just tuned in to the Generations on Tuesday edition. Generations on Tuesday, or GOT, is an alternative church experience. It's church, but a little different. No platform, no pulpit, no one preacher, but rather the focus is on Christ, community, and conversations. We have a special heart for those who are in the creative, arts, entertainment, media, music, F&B, and similar communities. And we want to provide a safe space to explore and discover faith in Jesus, but in a not so conventional way. We hope you'll be inspired and impacted by today's dialogue, where we keep it real, raw, and relevant on topics that matter. So let's get right into it. Be blessed. All right, hello. Welcome everybody to Generations on Tuesday. Sometimes we call it GOT or GOT. Well, it just simply means Generations. That means on Tuesday. Generations is our church. We meet on a Tuesday night sometimes. And today we're having what we would call a dialogue. So sometimes we have discussions, sometimes we have devotion sessions, and other times we have a dialogue. Tonight, we're having a dialogue, and I have two guests with me. On my left, over here, both are on my left, we have Reverend or Pastor Tryphena, a good friend I've met many years ago. Thank God we're still friends. And she has a story to tell, so we'll get to her story later on. And then on her left is Hazel. Hazel is part of our church. She's part of our worship team. She has a story to tell, so we're very excited to hear from her. Okay, so let me just give a bit of background and set this up. We are, of course, going to touch on the topic of LGBT. And when I say that, I'm not discounting all the other letters too, just too long to say. But LGBTQIA+, all right? So all of that, all of the different variations, different options, okay? But in short, if you don't mind, I'm going to just refer to LGBT today. We're going to talk about that. Now, I was asked quite a good question earlier on before this show started, and it was, what's the target audience? Actually, it's a very good question. Are we talking about this topic today from a religious perspective? And if it's a religious perspective, is it a Christian perspective or other religious perspective? I'm asking a question, yeah, I'm not making a statement yet. Are we talking to people who have, I guess we say, have already come out and say, I identify myself as that, and we're talking to them? Or are we talking to people who are wondering, maybe even struggling with the identity, have not come out yet because if they're not sure if they're saved too? Are we talking to them? Are we talking to Christians or not Christians? Very good questions, huh? I didn't think about all those things actually. So let me just give the context of how this came about. It really is this, okay? Hazel is part of our church. I mentioned this just now. Our church only started maybe a year and a half ago. No, maybe. We started a year and a half ago. Hazel was introduced to our church, okay? She was looking for a community. She came to join us. When she joined us, she said to tell her pastor, me, her story. And she told me that she was formerly a lesbian. She no longer is one. And she has a story to tell. But at that time, she was not ready to tell it. Right? And then, as we journey along, sometime near the end of last year, that's 2023, she said, Pastor, I think I'm ready to tell my story. And I think someone out there, may find it helpful to hear my story. When can I tell my story? I'm like, wow, great that you're ready. I don't know when. So we've been looking for the when ever since. Tonight is the when. So tonight, Hazel will get to share her story, her experience, her past, her present, maybe a bit about her future too, for the first time in public. Wow, what a way to start, because this will be recorded and it'll be very public one day. So I applaud you and commend you for your bravery, your courage, and I really believe your story will help. Pastor Tryphena has told a story many times. So some of you may have heard the story before. For some of you, it may be your first time. But her story is also very inspiring and also very helpful. Now, the three of us here are Christians. We all have a faith. We share the same faith. We worship the same God. We believe in the same Bible. So that may color our perspective and color our view. Okay, just want to put it out there. Are we speaking to only Christians? No. We're speaking to whoever will listen. Okay? Those who have come out, those who have not come out, those who are struggling to come out, those who are thinking whether you should come out or not, those who have a stand, those who don't have a stand, those who know what the Bible says, those who don't know what the Bible says, those who don't agree with what the Bible says, the whole lot. We're not really speaking to you to try to change you in any way. We're just telling our story. Let's start from the start. Let's hear some origin stories, okay? Everybody is born young, baby, and a child. So let's go all the way back there. And let's start with Pastor Tryphena, because your childhood started earlier than all of us.
Thank you for reminding me that.
Yes, great. What was growing up as a child like for you? Like, what was your childhood like?
Okay, let me put it very simple. I think typically in my generation, that time, most parents, the firstborn, they would want to have a son. Okay, but lo and behold, poops came out. That's me lah, daughter. Okay,
You came out poop like that, huh?
yeah, like poop lah, poop
Okay.
out lah. Yeah.
Alright.
Then I mean, they were expecting a son.
Yeah.
You know, but came out, a daughter.
Daughter, yeah.
Yeah, but I think what my growing up stage, I realized, I'm not sure about Hazel, but my parents have expectation on the firstborn in a way that firstborn must be good, firstborn, you must be good role model lah. You got all your brother, sister, all waiting to look at you, and then you must do well and everything. So I actually came up with kind of like assumption and or I would say a belief system that when I must do good, then my parents will love me.
Okay.
That was how I grew up lah.
Yeah.
So I was like a people pleaser lah. The time, I wanted them to be happy. Actually, at the end of the day, I just want to be loved. That was how I grew up, and being the firstborn. And of course, I have 3 other siblings. Yeah. So I think today family may be smaller lah, but my time is considered moderate lah. Huh?
Okay.
A family of 6 of us lah. Yeah. Then, but for sure, biologically, I was born as a daughter. Yeah. I mean, I knew I was a girl much later lah. Because they try to dress me up and things like that, But I look at some of my childhood photo. Actually, my parents were trying to dress me up as a boy.
Oh.
There were quite a number of photos that I realized that last time was black and white so you can roughly guess my age already. So so mine was like black and white, a little bit. I'm still very young actually. I'm only in my early 50s. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
So across the middle already lah. A few more years can get my my EPF Wagga Emas already.
Yay.
Yeah. So I think it's good tonight we have generation because it's 2 different generation here.
Yes.
But we face the same struggle and of course we also enjoy it. But today we don't. We choose not to. So I guess we are pretty much the same, but just that I think the growing up can be a bit different. Yeah.
So you mentioned something about at the end of it all, you actually just wanted to be loved, and you maybe you were not able to articulate that while you were a child, but now you look back, you can see that actually at the end of the day, we are all looking for love.
Yeah, I don't know about your kids lah, but my generation only can be seen, not heard.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it points to the fact that all human beings are born with an innate desire to want to be loved.
Oh yes.
And be loved, right? That's very important. Maybe Hazel, you can share about your childhood. What was it like? What's different? What's same?
Okay. I'm pretty nervous. It's my first time, so forgive me.
We're just talking.
So, I do agree on the point where we are all just human who needs love and wants to love. What were you saying? What do you want to hear?
What was your childhood like?
My childhood.
Yes.
Yes. So when I was born, it's similar like what Pastor Tryphena is saying. I dressed up like a boy.
By choice, or were you dressed up like someone dressed you up that way?
Okay, my father would just give me money, and I'll just go and choose the boys' clothes.
Okay.
And he didn't say anything.
Okay.
So I thought it's fine to dress up like a boy.
Okay. So you just somehow tend towards more boy-looking clothes, whatever that means lah. I guess we know what you mean, right?
Yeah.
T-shirt,
Kiko,
shorts,
Kiko, Kiki Lala.
Oh, I know those brands. betrays my age. Ladybird? Oh, no.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
never mind.
Sorry, mine was
Carry
Pasar
on.
Malam.
Pasar Malam. Pasar Malam got a fake Kiki Lala. Okay. So you tend to dress up that way, but your parents did not correct you
Yep.
or say anything. So it just happens. You carry
yeah,
on.
Yeah. Okay.
What else can you remember about your childhood?
I'm always with short hairs,
Okay.
and that's just it. Yeah.
So that was childhood for you. Did you have any similarities that for Pastor Tryphena, it was like the parents expected a boy, but she came out a girl? Did you have anything like that?
I'm not sure. I didn't ask. So.
But I remember when I was about probably 5 or 6 lah. I remember. I think I grew up with my parents are fantastic. Okay, they are so loving lah. So loving. Within 5 years, there are 4 of us. So is that loving?
Wow.
Yeah. So that time no K drama ma. Okay, and then they don't have Wi-Fi and handphone. Okay. So but
Loving and free.
Yeah,
Okay,
but,
yeah.
But I remember they always tell me this that no one is supposed to touch you. Your body belongs to you. I mean, they make it in the way that I probably understand then.
Yeah.
So, but when I was about 5 or 6, something happened to me. So I'm not sure, we share similar. But yeah, about 5 or 6 years old, I was actually playing with my neighbor. And that was when I had what we call, I was being touched at places that I'm not supposed to.
Okay. Similar.
Yeah, so today they will call it sexual violation, or I would say that it's too early sexual awakening for a child. Yeah.
You were 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, I
around
was
there,
5 or
very
6.
young.
So when I came back home, actually I dare not tell my parents about it, because you remember I said I needed to do good then be loved ma.
Yes.
Yeah, so I actually suppressed it in a way. I was ashamed, and I don't think I even know what's shame lah, but I was more on fearful, not able to tell that to my parents. But I think something happened to me that day was that it changes the way I look at touch. So because the person who touched me is somebody that I know and is a friend, very young, but to me is that, oh, okay lah, the person loved me lah, that's why touched me. Because nobody actually talked to me about what sex is all about.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out on your own.
Yes.
Right or wrong, you have to figure it all out.
Yes. So that was one incident that I went, that of course my parents' relationship wasn't that fantastic lah. Always fight one. Yeah. So as they fight, and I remember because my dad was also involved in some gambling. So because of that, he lost his business and so forth. And that day changes the dynamic of the relationship between my mom and my dad. And poor me lah, because I was the eldest, you see. So the eldest, you kind of become the tong samba lah. You listen to everything lah, everything that was poured to me. But that changes the way I look at my father. As young as about maybe 6 years old, 6 to 7. Then I needed to be strong for my mother. So that was what I went through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was actually similar. It's also sexual
Different
abuse.
different generation of you.
Same thing only happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So mine was also like 7 to 8. At the age of 7 or 8, but mine happened with a stranger that I did not know. I almost got kidnapped, and I got molested. And I was running back to my block, and that's when I started to had this first trauma. I would say, yeah.
So it happened outside of your house.
Outside of my house. It was with a guy. So I planned the whole thing in my head, saying that guys are no good.
Okay, so after you got was molested, right? It was molested.
Yeah, you can use the word lah.
Molested.
Yeah.
And from then on, you develop a hatred towards guys because it was a guy who molested you.
Hatred, not really hatred, but maybe, I don't know, thinking.
So
Yeah.
you look at guys differently from then on.
They're no good lah because they do that
So they're
stuff,
just
right?
yeah.
But it happens after that is what contributes to my story after that about guys. Like,
Because you were 7, just like Pastor Tryphena, whatever happened to you, you had to process it all on your own, in your own mind. Like, oh, he's a guy, he did this to me.
Mine was a girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yours was a girl.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you. Just 'cause I said it was a guy who touched you, right? So, and so you did, yeah. Okay, you had to
This is
figure out.
very raw, you see. That's why she don't know my story.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Now you all know each other's
Okay.
story.
Right. Thanks for sharing.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing.
So there were traumatic experiences innocence was stolen, I guess, robbed, taken away, or
I think it's the word awaken. It's something
Awaken,
that, I mean,
okay.
you're not supposed to know what is it being touched or being kissed or being molested, that kind of thing at that
Yeah.
age, you see. And it's not something that you want to talk about it.
yeah, there is a verse in the Bible, Song of Solomon. Actually, read that. It's quite an interesting book in the Bible. Like it's like poetry like that. It talks about breasts and stuff like, and it describes breasts as mountains. I'm like, wow, how do I, as a teenager, how do I read this?
Yeah.
It's a good book
Yeah,
for
yeah.
those,
Yeah, but there's a line there that says,
I
"Do-
like
do
that
not
book.
awaken love until
yes.
it's so desires." So, it's love and timing, and so you were
Wanted
going to
to
continue
say-
your story, right?
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
your
yeah.
first
Yes, first, yes.
awakening or the
But
first.
more like I wanted to mention the word fear.
Okay.
That's when I fear the first time in my life. Yeah.
Just fear in general, or fear of something
Just
specific?
fear something bad is gonna happen to me,
Okay,
especially with a guy. Yeah.
because you were ambushed.
Yeah, to take a key from
That
my
you
house.
left
It
in
was
your
just
friend's house.
7:30 p.m.
Yes.
And I got something hook over my face, and I got pulled and put down to the floor, and I was very young.
I'm sorry that happened to you. It's
It's okay.
very
no,
traumatic, and I think we can all understand why fear was heightened, fear was developed,
Yeah.
especially towards guys.
Yeah.
So, what happened after that?
You have any stories at 9 or 10? So take over,
Oh,
please.
so we're going age by age now. Okay,
I'm
wow.
feeling- Take turn.
I think one thing for sure is that it didn't dawn upon me that I was a lesbian or I was attracted to
Yeah.
female, But because of I think when I recall, I mean at this age, it's also my relationship with my mother. Okay, because my relationship with my mother is a love-hate relationship. I love her because she's my mom, but I hated her. I use the word hated in a way because she did not actually take me as a daughter. She took me as a surrogate husband because of her not so good relationship with my father. All right. So a lot of times she would not actually confide in my dad. She wouldn't talk to my dad. She would talk to me because I'm the eldest. Yeah. So I ended up taking a lot of things from her. And that actually distorted the way I look at myself because by right I'm a young girl. I shouldn't be taking all these things
Yep.
and by right it should be the guys that will be protecting us. But a lot of time I ended up having to take the role to be a protector to my mother. Yeah, so that's why I use the word love-hate relationship with my mom. Yeah. So I mean she's a nice lady lah, but I realized that there was something that in her that I did not have. So gradually I began to be drawn to. I realized that we don't love every.
Yeah, not all,
I
not
mean,
all.
yeah,
Very picky.
I mean,
Yeah.
we have our taste, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, not everybody, That's why people think that we all love
Yeah,
every.
like anyone you can.
Yeah.
You just
No,
yeah.
no. We have our cup of tea,
very
but
very
yes.
select.
Yeah, very selective.
Okay. I'm learning
Yeah, and
listening.
Yeah, and I think that time those that were kind of attracted me will be those that are strong.
Okay.
I mean, I look
So
strong.
there is a type.
You want a stronger one?
I mean, strong from physical lah, look
Okay,
strong lah,
okay.
But actually inside is tofu lah.
Yeah.
So I was looking for
Exactly.
I was looking for somebody that's strong, able to, I mean, someone with charisma, someone who is
same.
unique, different. No, all the others are all same one. No,
Character.
must have character. So sounds like my mom. No?
Okay.
I mean, I mean when now I can laugh about it lah, but at the time nothing to laugh about lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you?
Very similar. For those of you who do not know me, I actually grew up with a stepmother. I have a birth mom who is a drug addict, right? So she didn't have the time to take care of me. So I hunger for a mom's love. So that's why I look for a girlfriend, because I thought that I need feminine love. I had too much of masculine love in me. I had my dad, I had my brother, and it's full of masculine love filled into the tank. I need feminine love.
Okay.
So I guess I'm just hungry of a mother's love. And I started to seek after some soft love. Yeah, kind of like, hey, sayang, sayang, you know, that kind of thing. Come here, I'll be there for you, you know, kind of thing. But all I get is, hey, you need money? Yeah. You can go buy anything you want. Yeah. But yeah, I don't have, honey, I love you. Yeah, I don't have that. So probably, I don't know.
So you're both looking for something that you perceive as missing from your life.
Yeah, I think in terms of love would be that something that you are looking for affection, you know, I mean, looking for love, but I think at the same time, I was also looking for people to see the worth in me, to see the, you know, because people always call me names lah. Like, you know, I was born quite a big size baby. Yeah, they say it's about 9 pounds, so I don't know lah, how big is that. But I think it's like Michelin tire, the kind, you know. So yeah, so I was actually born quite big, and all the while was quite cute lah. Another nice word is cute lah, but not so nice is fat lah. So people always label me as fat. You know, I grew up with that. You know, so I had a lot of labeling. Then I actually don't see myself as pretty. Then I began to be drawn to those charisma. I realized there must be certain thing there lah that attracts me, that I wanted to be like them. Yeah. I don't think you got the fat part lah. I had it lah.
I do.
You
do.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now lah.
Tell us more. How?
I used to have people calling me names as well, but not fat.
So there's labels.
Yes, there's labels.
Labels. You get labels put on you.
Yeah.
Spoken over you.
Fat is one lah. Tomboy is another one.
And
yeah.
How did those labels affect you or not affect you? Do you start to become like your labels? Do you realize that?
Well, if they call you tomboy, then you might as well be the best tomboy. I mean, that was my when I was growing up in primary school lah. Yeah.
Back then lah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not that we really want to be tomboy. I mean, if you're good in sports, you short hair, your big size body. Like last time, where got mystery kind of baju one. You know, that kind of big one. Everything is Padini size one.
Right. For me, it wasn't on being a tomboy actually. For me, I really wanted to become a lady. It's just I need a safe space before I could become that. Because whenever I feel like I want to become a lady, I felt very threatened, very vulnerable. It's not safe. It's to show myself, because a lady is always soft. It's always, rape case happens to ladies, not mostly, ladies. And I think that it's dangerous to be a lady. So I need to masculine up myself so I won't be, because I got molested. At 17, I had a big case. I won't want to say it, but typically it was a rape case. So I'm over it. Don't sympathize me, but it's a different thing for me, because your case is a tomboy, but I didn't really want to become that. I want to become something else, but I got to mask up myself and protect myself.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. And for you to be able to say that you are over it, you have been restored, I'm sure it took a long time. And it takes more than just thinking positive thoughts. I'm okay. Right? I'm sure it took a lot. Maybe we can get into that. Like, how did you recover from something like that? And how do you get restored from something like that, right? Maybe the first question is, well, it's not first question anymore in the context of this whole conversation, but when did you first realize that this is what I'm having? I'm having same-sex attraction. Like you consciously know that, oh, I'm a girl who likes girls. Like, when do you know that? How do you know that? What do you do when you know that you know that?
You want to go ahead?
I can't remember.
Okay, I'll go first. No, I can't.
You're younger than me, okay?
Yeah.
I think in my teens, I realized that I'm much more drawn to BFF, best friend, girls. And there are certain type that will kind of draw me, like what I mentioned just now. But I think in my days, we actually don't even know that there are these kind of words that exist. I mean, that's in my time lah.
Yep. We
don't talk about the word lesbian, LGBT, and right now you have preferred gender pronoun and all those stuff. I mean, in my days, we don't really have that. But all I knew is that, hey, I'm very close to this friend, And I only need this friend. Other friends, not that I don't have, I have them, but this friend matters most to me. Then I realized that emotionally, I'm beginning to be very much hooked onto this person. So it's like without this person, my life is meaningless. Without this person, I feel so empty and things like that. So it's my best friend. But I realized that a couple of them, I tend to suffocate until the point where they kind of like don't want to be my friend, and I get more hurt, feel more rejected.
Yeah.
But it was during my teens that I'm not embarrassed to say that I was actually exposed to pornography. Okay. And my days are not like now. Now you all can get your porn very easily. My days was VCR and all. If you all don't know what's that, please Google.
Google it.
Google it. No, it was VCR. And I actually found it hidden because it belonged to my father. So I went and looked at it, and without proper understanding of what sex education is all about, and I was hooked onto it because it was that period of time too that I realized that when I do something on my body, hey, actually that's called masturbation. So when I was watching and then I did something on my body, it gives me pleasure and it numbs a lot of my pain. So what are the pain? Pain of people calling me names, pain of trying to have love and feel that nobody love you, that kind of thing, So those were the kind of pain that I went through. So the more pain I had, the more I actually went and watched it. Then I realized that as I was watching it, sorry if your guys are around here, but none of your body attracted me, because I was drawn to female. So I was actually looking at them and began to fantasize. So that was the beginning of it, that the more I watch, the more I actually sexualize, or even the person that I was very close with, I began to be very disrespectful inside by sexualizing the person. So that was how, in my teens, I began that way. Yeah, yours probably is a different story. Really.
Thanks for sharing that. How about you, Hazel?
Yeah.
I do have a masturbation habit too. Back in the young days, it started like I was 7. So I started that habit at 7 itself, and because I guess I wanted to know like what is the feeling of doing this stuff. Like I was just curious. I tried it for the first time. I got hooked to it for years and years and years, and I was lost, and I just want no answers for things, and it went on till I thought that it's actually love. Like this feels good. Like oh, this is love. Oh, okay.
Yeah, as you're both talking, also I'm a parent. I've got 2 kids, and the question on my mind is that this is probably another topic, but wow, when should sex education start?
You need another podcast.
We probably need another podcast. Like, when do we start talking to our kids about all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if my kids caught me. And anyway,
Pastor has another side of story.
So so anyway, yeah. How about you? Like just quickly now, because the question was like, when did you realize or had the concept that this is same-sex attraction? I'm a girl who likes girls. Like,
It was actually a choice for me because then I had that guy molesting me, and I said okay, no, and I had my dad screaming at my mama, okay, no, man, boy. And I got a boyfriend myself, like to try, like, oh, okay, let's just try to have a boyfriend. And he took me home and watched pornography. So I said, boyfriend, no, and I started with another boy. We sent love letter and stuff, and it just didn't feel like it, like a boy, boring. Like, okay, then I made a choice. Like, okay, I'm going after the girls, and it feels good. So, I don't know.
So for you, it's more like you realize what you don't want. I don't want boys. So what's left? Okay.
I think it was only when I was in my early 20s when I was when I started my profession, and I was kind of like I was with certain friends, and then there was this particular friend that that reminded me what happened when I was 5, 6 years old, because I was actually awakened sexually when I was 5, 6 years old. Then, of course, along the way, it was all the input of the porns and everything. But when I was a young adult, I was with this particular person, and this person was with me, and we were sleeping together. And that was when the same incident that happened at the age of 5 and 6 took place again. But this time I'm an adult, And with all the input I have, so you know what to do, see? So I actually allow that to grow. So that was actually the actual time where I was beginning to be involved sexually with the same sex. It just started with emotional, a lot of dependency. I needed that person and things like that. But it crossed that line, when I started in my working life, that I began to be with this person. So it was one after another. But each time those relationship does not last long. And every time when, because of my own faith and my moral values, I knew that was not something that was natural for me, And each time when we kind of parted, it was very painful. So the pain intensified, and then I go back to the cycle, So when pain, I watch porn again, And then, it adds on and adds on. But I've never really got myself out of it, because I was still constantly living in that guilt and that kind of feeling that I need it, but at the same time, I know I'm guilty about it. Yeah.
And for Hazel, when did you, I guess, fully embrace this lifestyle?
Yeah. I even think about getting married. I even think about having a baby together.
Okay.
I even think about dying together with them. Yeah, I was really committed to my girlfriend. But I had like 8 girlfriends. All of them just brings me pain. And so I gave up. Yeah, but I do have sexual relation with them. But you see, at the end of the day, I need love. I want love and to be loved. However, I honestly saying, I did not feel it with all those girlfriends. So then I continue searching and searching to the point I actually almost committed. I wanted to commit suicide. At age of 21, I guess, I took a knife, I shaved my head, and because I tried 8 times, and I was really bleeding in my heart. There's no more love to give. I'm dry. I have no love to give anymore. I need love. I need to be filled. But right now, nobody is feeling me. They are not feeling me, and I felt like there must be an answer out there. But if there's no answer, I want to die. So when I took the weapon, it was so silly. I took a scissors because there's no knife at home. Yeah. So I really wanted to die. And I heard God say, wait. The word wait was full of hope. And I waited. I went back home to my mom's place. I went back to church. Yeah. And half a life, like that. Date. And I just follow what God tells me. Yeah, I think I'm straying away from your question, but let's just continue to what you want to say.
Okay. Yes, thanks for realizing, but it's okay, it's good. It's my job to bring you back. Okay. I also forgot my question, but anyway, it's okay, because sometimes it's good to just go with the flow of the conversation. And you kind of already went ahead to like coming out of it, because we started the whole conversation with saying that you were both former lesbians. So there was once upon a time you're no longer. I think we're also interested to find out like why are you both former lesbians? Like how
I don't know when I will relapse but I'm not perfect. I'm not saying, but right now that is the choice I made for myself.
All right, yeah. I had diarrhea 6 months ago. I don't know when I'll have diarrhea again. Like, it happens. Right, you eat wrong thing, you know, so it happens. But like, so
Just careful
How?
what you eat.
Just be careful what you eat. Be careful what you consume. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yes,
true.
yes.
Yeah.
It works with natural food, works with emotional,
Yeah, it's true. it's true.
spiritual,
Yeah.
everything else too. So tell us a bit about that, both of you. Like,
The thing is that the people that my those friends that I was involved, none of them are actually from this background.
mm,
Right, none of them. But we had emptiness that we wanted to just fill each other. Okay, and the worst part was actually I kind of sent them off. Each one of them got married, and I saw them getting married. That was the most painful part for me. It kind of ripped. But I knew that this relationship is not what for as my faith, not what God intended it to be. So it's a lot of like each time I run back to God, but I fell again and again until the point where there was this particular partner that I truly, not that the rest I don't love lah, but this one truly lah.
Wow.
You die for her one lah. That one that you really want. Yeah, you want to leave your will for her also, that one lah. Yeah. So this person left me, and but I think the word that was mentioned is because I'm not a man. So that really tore me apart, and I felt that there was no meaning in life anymore to live a life that time. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and for those of you here, if you are a Christians, at that time I was already very supposed to be strong in my faith, okay, serving God and things like that. But
You were already a pastor.
yes, I was then a pastor
then.
already.
So it was a double life.
Yes,
secret
double life. Yes. Look holy outside, but inside all the holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of holes
Holy,
inside.
yeah.
Yeah. But that time I remember when this partner left me, I was broken. So broken that I didn't even care whether I'm going to see God or not. I don't even bother. So I was like you, no knife lah. I don't use knife lah because I'm not a biker, but I drive. You see, so I just want to drive and kill myself in an accident, and not knock people lah, but knock somewhere lah. Okay, then. As I was moving out I was taking my car key and I was just going out the house, something supernatural like you happened. I was not able to walk. Now, don't ask me how, but that is a supernatural work of God, mujizat Tuhan. It works. And I was not able to walk. How long, I don't know. It's very charm one. You want to die, cannot die, very charm one. So that was the moment I had. I couldn't die. But I was battling with God. And finally, I say, God, you win. That's why I've learned my lesson. Don't fight with God. So I said, God, you win. And the moment when I say He win, and I was able to walk. And it was actually the longest night for me because I was broken. I was in grief. I lost my loved one. But thank God, the next morning, I took up the courage to contact some pastors, overseas pastors that happened to be here. And I just told them, I went to see them, and I just told them this. I say, Pastor, I'm a lesbian. Thank God the pastor didn't. Thank God, The pastor actually looked into my eyes and just say this, both husband and wife say, Tryphena, Jesus loves you. That's for me lah. I tell you, I just break down and cry because I was so filthy. Probably I didn't fill up the gap just now. Because of my porn addiction, I ended up, and also because I was in a way a victim of that sexual violation, I ended up being a perpetrator. That means I went and hurt others. So I became a sex addict. So she's much more pure than me. She was praying, But I became a sex addict. I actually went out and hunt, and I actually lived very serious double life. Mess up my life so much so, if it's not because of the grace of God today, I'll probably have HIV. Or I probably also not here in that sense. So when God saved me that time, I just obey lah. I say, God, what do you want me to do? You don't want me to, I cannot die, then what you want? That's where I was able to get help. It took me a lot of courage lah, because I was already in the ministry. I was already serving, and it's not easy. Yeah. But I immediately tendered in my resignation. So one of my greatest regret was at that time I hurt the church community. because they really loved me, but I just left.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, s- I think many people do live a double life, a secret life that they cannot talk about. Um, and I guess being able to talk like this hopefully can help. Because whatever it is, living out in the open is more freeing, right? It's more freeing. Whether right or wrong, at least it's out there, and you can deal with it. Hazel, how about you? Like, so you told us part of the story already. 8 relationships, all broken, all hurt you. You wanted to kill yourself with the scissors, and a voice which you believe to be God said, "Wait."
Right.
Did he say wait for what? And did you wait? What happened?
I did wait because I said, okay, I'm giving you one more chance. So I gave God a chance because I gave a lot of women chances. I gave a lot of boys chances, but I've never really gave my chance on God. So I took my chance. I said, God, if you're going to do this, make sure it's a good one. Because I need to know what is the meaning of life. Because I live for a meaning, right? And I think that meaning is love. Right at the beginning, when I was a lass, when I was young, I lived for love. I knew if there's no love, there's nothing. Going to work, paying your bills, it's meaningless. It's just going through the motion. But without love, this life has. I don't want to live this life if there's no love. End of the day, whatever we do, I think it's love. I think it's because of love that we go out and work, that we are paying the bills in the house. It's because we love our mom, we love the people around us, we want to provide to them. And that the core is love. So I forgot your question.
Let me ask you a new question. Have you found love?
Yes.
Describe that.
It's undescribable.
Try.
Try is here. Try is here.
Try.
Try, you want to help me?
You try first. You try. Then
I
I'll add
try.
on.
If you're looking for love, you can't find it there. You can't find it here. Guys don't give you love. Girls don't give you love. Okay, let's not
Yeah.
get into other things, but
Okay,
And you said you have found love.
Yep.
So tell us.
Okay, I found love. Love is someone who would make you feel to know your worth. Love is someone that makes you feel like yourself. Love is someone who would always be there. And that love to me is God.
Okay. And this God is the same voice you heard that said, "Wait, don't kill yourself."
Yeah, it has always been him. He was right there through all the chaos, carrying me. And I actually heard it. I heard him spoke to me like 20-ish. I have a very bad memory, but I can remember the big points. Yeah, 20-ish, and he said, "I'm the same person, same God that actually was there from you right from the start. I carried you through, and trust me, you are, I saw him carrying me in his arms, and I am the love that you're looking for. All the rest of it will come to you at the right time. But meanwhile, I am that love."
That's good. I'm going to ask 2 difficult questions now.
By all means.
Okay. One is, and sort of playing the devil's advocate, if I don't like the word, but okay. If God was there all along, have you ever wondered why he allowed what happened to you to happen to you? Have you ever wondered that? Because I'm probably asking a question that someone out there is asking. Might as well ask it. If God was truly there all along and he truly loved you, why have you ever wondered why he allowed?
I never wondered. I
Okay.
used to wonder, but I'm like 3 series right now. I'm quite a little bit mature.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pastor. So I grew.
Yeah. So if I were, in other words, sorry to maybe put words in your mouth. If I were to ask you this same question 20 years ago, it would be a different answer.
It was totally different. Like,
Because
why
now-
me? Why?
Now you have maturity.
Yeah.
You look at it differently.
Yeah.
How do you look at it now?
I'm really thankful for everything I've been through.
The good and the bad.
The good and especially the bad.
Everything happens for a reason. Is that your thinking right now? Is that
It's the bad that molds me.
okay?
I became who I am today because of the bad things that happened to me.
So could I put it this way? That a good God allowed bad things to happen for good reasons.
Yes. Yes. Every time I face hardship, I have a good feeling about that. Because you know why? Because every time I break through the hardship, every time it's over, when I look at myself, I say, wow, it's amazing what I've become.
How about you? How you answer that?
I would differ.
Go ahead.
My understanding is human being in general, not everybody is good, but God is good.
Mm,
That doesn't change, okay? God is constant. I mean, He is good,
yeah.
all right? But along the way, we want to do what we want to do, like it or not. That's that self in us.
Yeah.
But that's not God's intention.
Mm.
I don't think God wanted me to be a sex addict. I don't think God wanted me to be sexually violated. I don't think God wanted something bad to take place in my life. Okay? But I can't control the world.
Mm-hmm.
I can't control the things that's around me. But God is still constant. He's still the same God. Yesterday, today, and forever. He's good.
Yeah.
Okay? Because from what my understanding as I read, I'm older lah, at least 20 years. So that advanced already, okay? So I agree with Hazel that every suffering or every obstacles that we go through, I think it takes a lot of maturity to say that because of that, it molds us to be somebody. But if somebody who is have been like her, have gone through a very traumatic experience of being sexually violated in that sense, it's hard for us to say that's a good thing. I don't think that is the right thing to say, in fact. All I can say is that I don't understand why you need to go through that. But God is still a good God. It's mankind who choose to do things that is against the goodness of God. So that's why I say I differ, but I also agree that, that suffering, I don't think God says we are going to all be qui sera, whatever will be. And then you're going to be so peaceful, everything. You look at the world today, very chaotic, okay? All right? But in the midst of that chaos, all I know is this, the God that has brought me back to life, the God that has redeemed me, is a God that also gives me peace in the midst of chaos, in the midst of suffering. He's still that comforter. He's still that good God. So that's what I want to say. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. So for what I'm hearing is that God is a good God. He's always good, but people are not always good. People
wants to be God lah. So
People want to be God.
they if you read Genesis chapter 3, that's where the fallen nature of man, where people wants to be God. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also hearing that sometimes we try to find a reason or a purpose in the pain or suffering we experience, but the reality is sometimes we just can't find an explanation.
If you ask me today, why am I why I became a lesbian? It's very hard to have you nail down that reason that because this is a bad God, or you say that, God, you're so good, but why is it you allow me? Of course lah. I would say, why God? Why is it that I became a lesbian? You think I want to be one man? It's that kind of argument, you see. And you can never finish argue. You can argue until your lungs come out also. The thing is this, God is still a good God.
So second difficult question. Then we go into the questions that
Difficult,
people ask.
quite difficult.
Yeah.
Difficult to me lah. It sounds
Okay.
easy to y'all.
Yeah.
So
But
you both mentioned that you had traumatic experience, painful, and I think what you're both suggesting also is that those traumatic experience had an effect on you. Okay, had an effect on what you became, who you became. Right. So we get that. Uh, and I then later asked, how did you come out of that? Because you both chose to, or decided to, or somehow came out. You're no longer lesbian, as far as you know now. You came out, right? And I asked, how did that happen? And you both mentioned God. You said God rescued you, God spoke to you, God stopped you from killing yourself. Okay. Here's my question. I mean, what if there are people out there who are living a homosexual lifestyle, okay, and they themselves actually, whoa, they themselves don't want that anymore, right? And they also want to get out. Let's just assume that there is such a case. But what if they don't experience God? What if they don't have a voice speaking to them and they don't have, then how?
I think first thing first is that they need to be, you see, those who are happily living as one, honestly speaking, it's none of our business to want to tell them.
Mhm.
All right? But if they're seated here today or they're listening to the podcast, we just want to say that, yeah, if those who are still wanting to discover themselves, want to know more about why, because so far I have yet to see somebody that is born this way, lah.
Mhm.
All right, and based on just hearing from Hazel and myself, we are not born this way. So there must be some narrative, some story. Why not we just listen to story first, and then let's talk about the stories. What is it? Okay, maybe those stories did not actually cause you to be one.
Yeah.
Then it is your own personal intention to want to be one. Okay, because today there's such thing as the world out there will say that this is norm. All right. So I think for both of us, it's because of the conviction and also whether it's moral or whether it's our faith that has caused us to make a decision. Yeah.
Good. How about you? You have a perspective? How do you answer this question? You had God. Great. God saved you. God spoke to you. I didn't experience anything. I didn't hear anything.
So your question was,
What if I don't experience God like you did?
Okay, okay. I think everybody has an idea of what God is.
Okay.
Yeah, whether how deep they know God, to what extent you know God. Yeah, so if you really seek God and you know God, you will be able to find the answer. I'm not saying like I'm not here to judge anyone. Clearly, the word says, "Do not judge." Yeah, we are no judge. Everyone has a different life. Everyone have a different process. Everyone has God working in them. That is not for me to say when, how, and what. But for me, God will work in them.
Yeah, and it's actually biblical. Romans chapter 1. I paraphrase. Everybody knows God. Because God created us that way, and this is innate knowing that God exists. But because of sin or because of this fallen nature, uh, that knowledge of God is suppressed. So yeah.
I think if a person doesn't know God, it's really up to them in terms of whether does this really disturb them. All right. And also I mean, I have friends who probably do not have the same faith with me, but they do have moral conscience. So some of them, the moral conscience will speak to them. But if they are happily being one, I just want to state here, if they are happily being one, none of us have a right to force them in any way to be who we want to be in a way. But at the same time, I also want to say that they are friends or community like myself and Hazel that we want to be who God wants us to be. That's where we also need to have that space for us to grow. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you for answering my questions. And let's get to some questions that
Very
people have
tough
asked.
questions.
Okay.
Oh, that one is not
Sweeter.
people's questions.
Oh, that was my question.
Oh.
Yeah, because if I was sitting there, I'll be typing all this in. But there are some questions here, very good ones. Shall we take a stab at them? Okay. Oh, sorry for that reference. Anyway, cool. Let's see. You all know that Slido works by votes as well. So if you really see a question that resonates with you, you want to push it up, help me decide by pushing it up. But here we go. Maybe some simpler ones, quick ones. But there's Tryphena, so I have to go with you first. Um, for Tryphena, Pastor Tryphena, what do you go to today to relieve your pain? Because in the past, it was pornography. You turned away from that. What do you go to today to relieve your pain?
Okay, if I want to spiritualize it, means it's God lah, huh? But I think that the one we all know lah. But I think do I still have pain? Yes, I do have. All right, because we live in the real world, so there'll be pain of dealing with family matters and whatever other things. I'm very thankful that today I have very good communities. That means we call it maybe like church or communities, you know. So I have communities from different varieties, you know, friends, you know, because being a pastor, I may have community who are in pastors, you know, who are pastors, and also I also have close friends, you know, and friends that I can talk to. Even some of them, you know, are here. So what I do is that I'm an introvert basically. So I think a lot and I speak a lot inside my brain. So when pain happens, I need to actually learn to express it. So I have to find safe community to talk, you know, to just bounce, to let me cry. Yes, it's okay to cry, you know, to cry because I don't need to be strong anymore like I used to when I was a little girl. All right. So that's where the community, as well as, of course, being in the ministry for so long, I've learned to also connect with God. So it's connection with God, connection with people that is safe enough that I'm able to just articulate. Yeah. So I don't need to go back to porn anymore. Yeah. That is like a drug to me last time, but now my drug will be the people and God lah.
Yeah, yeah. Hazel, do you have an answer to this
A
question
different kind
also?
of drugs, okay? Different kind of drugs.
If and when you do feel pain now, what do you go to relieve that pain?
I find good food.
Okay.
I shop. Yeah, I bike. Yeah.
Big bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I'll be more serious right now, but those are the things I really do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a serious, more
I was
serious.
seriously listening. Yeah.
Yeah, it does happen. It did happen like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I buy things. I'm a buy girl.
Sure. Food, shop, bike.
Yeah, yeah. And on the serious side, of course, for a person who have done it before, it's really easy to relapse into it, and I'm very aware of this sort of things. So I keep myself safe by having mentors to talk to. I have my counselor. I have a mentor. I make sure I don't read the word, but I listen to the word. Yeah. So I put on my YouTube.
The word as in the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I listen to the word, and I do the things I love. I love to sing. I love to bike. Yeah, all that. And I think the word keeps coming to my head right now. I tap into God's love every time I feel. And of course, by tapping into His love and being in His presence, I am able to do a lot of things. Somehow, by this relationship with Him, He actually sent me a lot of good friends that will talk to me, and I just fill my time. And I have no time for other silly stuff to just think about it, or to date. I don't even have the time to date.
Yes. Yeah. It was very hard to set up a meeting for two of you to meet me. Yes, you'll have no time. But good. Thanks for making time tonight. Let's move on to the next question. Good. All right. I think this may be more for you because of the work that you do. You help journey with people, counsel people who want to have a change of lifestyle, right? So this question sounds like this. How do you help someone find their origin story? You both shared. That means you were able to kind of trace back and kind of like identify some starting points, you know, some awakenings. So how do you help someone find the origin story of why they have chosen this lifestyle if it's not because they're born this way?
I think all of us have story. Yeah. I think some of you, compressed into don't know how many bytes already. We all have stories. So I think for us, we don't. Let me put a disclaimer here. We do not help people to change, because we don't have at all any power to change anybody. Okay, but what we do is that we do life with them. We journey with them, and then whatever they want to talk, we listen. We listen, and as we listen, that's where, with what God has given to us, the anointing, the power, we just pick up some words, and then from those words, I start to ask them more. All right, I ask them more things. I say, "Would you like to talk more about this?" Just now dinner time, we're already talking quite a fair bit, right? Yeah. So those are little things. At the end of the day, is what they are willing to share and talk. And you find that at the end of the day, actually, they kind of know it, just that they need to pinpoint on it. They need to see it, and they need someone to be like a mirror to reflect, for them just to look at it. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's their call. It's their call on how do you, I mean, some pain will not leave. It will still be there, all right? But it's how you're going to regulate or manage your emotions and your pain. So I've been doing the work for the last 20 years. All right. So I have heard all sorts of stories, but every story is unique. Every story is different, because everyone's pain is real. Yeah. So at the end of the day, is how much they want to work on those things. Yeah. So that's all we did. Actually, my work very easy. Just sit there, listen. Listen, and then ask question, not offending.
Yeah.
Just ask and then just listen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Journeying with them.
You're doing a good work.
Well, it's honestly, I think I pick up something from my mentor. My mentor is a pain chaser. So I learned it from him to also be a pain chaser, because it's no fun living in pain. But today, I'm thankful to God, because though I may have pain and chaos, which we cannot run away, but there's great peace, because my God is a God of peace.
Yes. Okay, let's ask the next question.
To you.
You can both answer.
Okay.
Do you both still get attracted to the same sex
See, it will
today?
come. See?
Told you.
If yes, how do you respond to it? If no, how?
Cannot tell lies, right?
Nope.
Why don't you go first?
Maybe you first.
What?
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay. I think when after my suicidal attempt, and then people journey with me, do life with me, I would say that there is no magic that immediately you don't have attraction. If people say immediately no attraction, that one is maybe one in don't know how many million but honestly, attraction was still there. But I choose not to act on my attraction. Okay, that means I was tempted. Okay, I was tempted. There were certain ladies that would probably be my type. I was attracted. And
Until today.
today, sorry today when you reach a certain age, no more attraction. Today I have admiration. There are people that I admire, but I will still be attracted, but not sexually. Let me define it. Okay, I don't have that sexual attraction towards female. Okay, do I have sexual attraction towards male? Maybe in my 10 years ago, probably yes lah. The time your drive is still there. Now it's getting lesser lah. Maybe I'm attracted for a companion, not so much for someone to have intimacy sexually with. Okay, so in my first 5 to 6 years, let's say the journey was like let's say 20 years. Okay, so my first 5-6 years, the temptation was very real. That means I was tempted, and honestly, that period of time I had a relapse. Okay, even though I was working very hard on knowing myself and working on my pain. But I had a relapse, and I'm very thankful for this relapse, because this relapse helped me to know myself even better. And today I'm able to be where I am today because this relapse has awakened me in a different way. Yeah. So from then to now, well, it's like gradual, slowly, and then you find that, suddenly attracted to guys really, Yeah, but attracted to guys doesn't mean that I can simply think about them sexually, right or not? That is definitely no, okay? In my faith, it's no, okay? So what I was attracted, and then even I think even the last probably recent, I mean maybe last 2 years, there was somebody that was actually I was attracted to, a guy, okay, someone who is already a widow, but just things didn't work out lah. So end up I don't get a chance to torture him, and he got no chance to torture me, lor.
Okay.
But if God opens door, honestly, I'm open to having a life companion. That means open to marriage, okay, but not to the same sex, but to the opposite sex.
Thank you for
Be very
sharing
open. This is my first time saying this out openly.
Yes.
Very raw.
So it's sort of like an advertisement also.
Advertisement.
So now people will watch and go,
Yeah. Well,
Can I
please,
have Tryphena's
please send
number?
your resume to me.
yes. Yes.
My pastor is watching this also. I
Yes.
think. Then,
So
okay.
when you get married, make sure remember us. It was
It was because
We
of
help
this
you.
podcast. Okay. Then I need all of them to come and do a recording again.
yes.
Okay. Joke aside.
Jokes
Come.
aside,
Yeah.
Hazel, how about you? Do you still get attracted to the same sex? If you're comfortable sharing or not, and how do you respond to it?
I'll share because we are talking about raw stuff right now, right? So, yes, I do, but I've got to justify a little bit. Not to that act, but just like what Pastor Tryphena was saying, my attraction towards a woman, it's based on some sort of like character thing. Like I've set up like, okay, this is the lady that I would like. This lady has to be blowing a saxophone. So I pin it like that. Like nobody will have that one.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm
You
just
have an
kidding.
impossible
There's
list.
something like very, I told you we are very like selective.
Yeah.
Like she's got to be very dominant, stronger than me, wearing a blazer, working good, looking good, speak good English, da dee 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 da da da. I've never found one. Yeah, so when I find someone who have like the 3 points or maybe 2 points, yeah, I do. It's not like when I walk on the mall, like, ooh, she's hot. Oh, she's hot. No. It's like I don't see anyone until they have a conversation with me and they kind of have that quality. I feel like I like it lah. Like I like them lah. But so far,
How do you respond when you find such person? Oh, of course, you say you haven't found such a person yet.
how do I respond? Okay.
Yeah.
We will sure meet one,
Yes,
Uh-huh,
somehow. I understand. Yeah. Somehow if they have, I remember this time where I have this lady who helped me when I was having a problem.
Yeah.
She's actually older than me, like a lot of years. Yeah. Somehow I'm attracted by her maturity. That I say, wow, this one, she makes me feel good. Yeah. So what do I do? I don't act on it lah. I just keep it into my heart and I don't act on it. I just tell myself don't lah.
Okay. So there's a differentiation between the attraction and the action.
Yeah. I think what helps me most those days is to be accountable. That means don't wait until you do it, only tell people lah. That is called reporting.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So being accountable is before you even plan to fall into it, you already make announcement. You blow it out to somebody. So that was helpful for me lah over the years, being accountable. And until today, I still have people that I'm accountable to. Yeah.
So accountability. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you mentioned it too. You got mentors.
Yeah,
you
that's right.
got
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I always thought that I was really strong lah. Yeah. Until until I think I need a accountability, that's when I kind of like seek for accountability.
Yeah, clearly. Even
Whenever I feel weak.
it was here that Liang said giants fall. Remember that? I have not watched the episode. Yeah. But even giants fall. So we all need help. We all need someone that watches out for us, someone that we can talk to, we can trust. So yes, accountability. I'm catching that. Um, okay, some Christian context on our question. You know, in the Christian world, right? We always say, "Oh, love the sinner, hate the sin." Something like that, like yeah, love the sinner, hate the sinner. Sounds good. It's kind of like a car sticker. Um, question is, how do you actually do that? How do you actually express that when even sometimes the people who's doing the wrong, uh, they identify as the wrong. So like maybe I stole something and I call myself a thief. I'm a thief. I am the sin. Right. So I guess it's a two side of the same coin question. One is how do we actually live that out? How do we actually express love the sinner, hate the sin? How do we do that? Because we say that so much.
Um, I have something to say. Like, I think sensitivity is the word. Like, you gotta love people the right way, the right time. If you love them the right way at the wrong time, it can be a turn off. Like, if you love them the wrong way at the right time, and then it doesn't lead back to what they need. Loving people, you need, like Pastor Tryphena has mentioned, you need to understand actually what is it about, how. So that takes a lot of sensitivity. But when you can love them the right way, and then all the rest of it becomes easy lah. Yeah. Instead of we debating like, oh, I think like this, that, da, di. So it does take sensitivity to do something.
So I just realized now that this question needs a bit of context because love the sinner. What sin are you talking about? Are you talking about robbery? Are you talking about
So I think when you talk about love the sinner, we all don't like the word sinner.
Yeah.
All of us, I don't think any of you like if anyone call you sinner, right? But in reality, we all sin. That's a fact. Okay, in reality, we all sin. Yeah. It's just a matter of you like to measure lah. Got degree one, right? You tell lies also, white lies lah, whatever. So some of you maybe seated here, but you're thinking something else already. Okay, So we all are sinner. That's something that we find it so hard to accept. But at the same time, there is hope because even as sinner, our God, my God, is willing to actually redeem us. That means he's willing to actually die for us and redeem us. So we don't like to hear the word lah. Honestly, I also don't like to hear last time. You love the sinner but hate the sin. What are you talking about? Because just because I have these sexual issues, I mean with my being a lesbian and being a sex addict and things like that. I mean, I don't like you to tell me you love the sinner, but hate the sin. That means what? What are you calling me sinner? So I would refrain. Honestly, I wouldn't use this. Okay. But we all know that we are all sinner. It depends on what you do, that's all. Okay? But in reality, when we say that we do love, because God do love all of us, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son to die for us. So there is no change. Like I said just now, God is constant in a way that he doesn't change that fact. Right? He loves us. Irregardless how messed up we all are. I'm using the word here, we, because honestly, none of us are better than anyone. We all are. But God still loves us. So when he says about, when they use this loving the sinner but hate the sin, what it means here is that God loves all of us. But whatever that is not in God's plan, that's where God say, stop it, don't do it. It's just that simple. I remember a story in the Bible. Can I say that?
Yeah.
This woman, she was caught in adultery. All right. And when she was brought to the place, for everybody to stone her, and then Jesus said this, if you didn't sin, then you cast the first stone. I think he's such a smart God. All right. He said, yeah, the way he teach. I mean, if you don't sin, you cast the first stone, and everybody left. And one thing I like about Jesus is this, he didn't ask, hey Andy, you slept with how many women? Sorry, not. No? I mean, he didn't ask that, He didn't ask the woman, hey, how many guys you slept with? He didn't do that. But he did one thing. I don't know whether you'll realize it or not. If you have a chance, go and read it. He says that, go and sin no more. It doesn't mean that he compromised our sin. He says this. His truth is, Jesus says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So the thing here is that go and sin no more. Doesn't mean he don't love us. He loved her like no business, man. But he told this woman, go and sin no more.
Yeah.
So he gave us a lot of chance. I don't know how many chances he gave me already. He's still giving me. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
The day where all this chance stop is the day I see him face to face. That means I breathe my last.
Yeah. Great. So while we're on that, there's a question here that goes this way. What are, in your journey, in both your journey, in your own experience, what are some helpful and also unhelpful things that church or church people have said and I'll add on done to you? And I guess to you, because it's your journey, meaning when you were living the lifestyle as a lesbian, what has been some helpful and unhelpful things that the church have said or done? I'm getting you to answer this question so that we can all learn from it. So that's the value of this part.
Okay, I'll start. The church did not know. I hide it right from the beginning. I had my first lesbian couple at 15. I'm at 34 right now. So when I was 15, I did not talk about it. Of course, I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid because all of them are, they're living a good life. Like they have boyfriends and stuff like that. I was really afraid that if I tell them, hey, I have a girlfriend, like they would say, oh, don't do that. I'm so afraid of them shoving me off, judging me. It's me, my mentality, not them. They did not do it to me. It's just me thinking, assuming that they are going to judge me.
Okay.
So that's why I hide it from them, so they couldn't help.
Okay. So that was your experience. How about you, Pastor?
Well, I think in general, in early days, when we talk about church, I'm not talking about building, not talking about names or whatever, but I think if you are a believer, you are the church. Okay? But in general, the church, at that period of time, in my days, they don't really have that understanding. All right? They didn't know. It's not that they don't want, they didn't know. Okay? So there are different types. There are some people that they, not only they don't know, then they also say things that unnecessarily. So they are this kind of situation. Okay? But I want to say this is, at the same time, it is also the church that has helped me. Being that community, that safe place that I can grow and talk, because I went down. I went out to Singapore to a church to actually get my help. Okay, so when I came back, being the early pioneer of this work, and that's where we start to educate the church to know, at least not to harm anybody, not just only about this topic, any broken people that comes into the church. Okay. So they are learning. So I'm seeing that taking place today in being in the work for 20 years. So I realized at the end of the day, whenever I journey with all my friends who will come and see us, I always tell them this: don't look at the church, but look at God. Because the church consists of you and I. We can hurt one another, but God will never. So the focus has to always be back to God, not so much on even the community sometimes. Because our friends can hurt us. Don't talk about church. Friends also can hurt us. Family also can hurt us. but God never. That's how I actually grow in my journey. It's because I choose to focus my eyes on God. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. So we've run out of time.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
and I
before
wish we could-
before the gate lock. Yeah.
I wish you could talk more. Maybe we'll end with this. So each one, give your last words. What would you like to say to everyone listening and watching? Yeah, about this.
I was just warming up. We are ending already. Okay.
Can do next part next time.
Part 2. To everyone listening, God loves you. I love you. Maybe I do not know all the right ways to love a friend, a family, but let's spread love.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to say this. First and foremost, thank you for hearing our stories, and there is hope. Okay, there is hope for those who desire it. So you're not alone in the journey. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. So I get to close this. um, I guess we didn't do this because we have all the answers, and I definitely did not do this because in this 1 hour plus we're going to be able to cover everything. But I guess I did this because it's a conversation that needs to be had, and if I may say, a conversation that needs to be had openly. Openly. Now, not everybody does it well. I'm not saying we did it well. I don't know. They can judge it for themselves. But I guess I feel like we need to try, because maybe for very long, it's been something we're afraid to touch. We're afraid to talk about, mainly because we don't know how to, or we don't know, if we start talking about it, what happens after that? How do we deal with the chaos? And I understand all that, right? Um, but we still need to talk about it. Like, I've got to talk to my kid about sex one day, and talking to him about it is going to open up something, right? But I still need to, because I talk to him about it, and his father, becomes the reference. Hopefully, I'm the first person who talked to him about it. Then I become the first voice, hopefully. Then all other voice gets compared to this first voice, hopefully. So I already told my son, he's 8, I already told him, Daddy's going to talk to you about this. I just haven't decided when. So I think it's important. So using the same analogy, I think the church needs to talk about it. That this voice needs to be out there at least, and people are smart, people are intelligent, that they will know how to compare the data and, decide, decide, the Bible's out there, and there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of other books on the topic, and they can read them all and make a decision, right? So this whole conversation is an attempt to surface this conversation, have it in the open, maybe even show what it looks like to have it in the open. Hopefully this was good, it's been helpful. And of course, once this goes on the internet, there's the comment section, there's different ways to reach out. Use this as a resource to say, this is not how you should talk about it, or this is how you should talk about it, or like, hey, whatever. We just hope that we can be helpful. All right. So yes, so that's us. Generations on Tuesday, dialogue. We're not sure what the next dialogue is about yet. We'll pray about it. We'll see. Hope you've been blessed. Hope you're being blessed, and you'll continue to be blessed. And yeah, I want to echo both Pastor Tryphena and Hazel. We're all looking for love. There is true love that can be found. We hope you all find it.
Well, that's all for now. We hope you've been inspired and impacted by the content today. If you have been blessed by what you've experienced, well, you know what to do. Please like, subscribe, and share it with your family and friends. We love hearing from you, so please comment and do share your feedback, thoughts, or even questions and content ideas.
Search, follow, or tag us on social media at Generations My. For more information, check out bit.ly/generationsmy. Until next time, God bless.